up everyone, and welcome back to the 2024 Baking Challenge. In this episode, we are making one of everybody's most favorite dessert, which is tiramisu. But this is not just your ordinary or your typical tiramisu. We are making this into a tart tiramisu according to my recipe cookbook by Julia, the winner of the Meilleur Pâtissier 2023. This could be one of my last few baking challenge, and I'm so happy that I'm about to reach by the end of the episode because I've been having a lot of fun baking and making all these recipes, and I learned a lot from here, and that is why I'm also able to make my own recipe for my own dessert. Just to let you guys know that this episode is a medium difficulty level, so it's not that difficult. The only difficulty part probably not to eat it while making it because as I read through the recipe, I'm already so sure that this recipe is gonna be
nice.
So if you guys would like to watch more of my baking episodes, especially my baking challenge episodes, click the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so you will be able to be notified whenever I uploaded new videos. I'm so ready to get our baking started, so let's start the baking right now. Alright guys, so the first preparation that we are going to do is the Ganache Montée Vanille-Mascarpone. So we are going to need these ingredients. The first thing we need to do is very easy. We're just going to rehydrate our gelatin with some water, mix it around, and then we're going to leave it aside for about 5 minutes before we are going to use it. And then we are just going to heat our 126 grams of whipping cream together with the vanilla, the whole vanilla bean, so that we will be able to extract the whole flavor of the vanilla. And then we are going to add in our rehydrated gelatin together with our melted white chocolate, preferably that has been melted via the microwave. Mix it all together until we achieve a very smooth consistency, and then after that we're just going to add the mascarpone. So for this part, I suggest to use the hand mixer or hand blender because it will be much easier for us to mix it together. But if you do not have a hand mixer, you can also use a hand whisk, the manual whisk, but you need to whisk it quite fast so that it will be mixed very well together. And then after that, we're going to turn off the heat, add in our cold balance of the whipping cream, and then mix it all together again. Once all of these are done, we're just going to transfer it into a bigger bowl and then cover it using a cling film. We are going to let it rest for at least 6 hours, but preferably the whole night. Yes, we're going to let it to sit for the whole night because Ganache Montée is best to be kept overnight. Then when we whip it, it will be perfect. And the second preparation is the preparation of the pâte sucrée cacao. So it's like a shortbread but in a chocolate flavor. And so that we are going to need these ingredients. This part is so easy. What we're gonna do is just to place all of the ingredients inside our mixing bowl except the egg. So we are gonna beat these ingredients until it's well incorporated together. Once it's well incorporated, we're just going to add our eggs slowly, little by little. So it's unnecessarily we're going to use all of the eggs. We are going to knead it just until the dough started to form into like a ball, so it sticks together but not too wet. Once we get this consistency, we're gonna stop mixing them. Then we are going to transfer it onto either you can use your silicone mat, like mine is quite big, so I'm gonna use a silicone mat, or you can also use a baking paper. Put one baking paper underneath it, place the dough on top of the first baking paper and place the second baking paper on top of the dough. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to spread it, roll it until we achieve the thickness about 5 millimeters. Once we get this, then we are going to place it in the fridge for about half an hour, just to let it to cool down first before we transfer it onto our mold. At this time, we're just going to preheat our oven at 160 degrees Celsius. And then at the 30 minutes, we're just going to take our dough out of the fridge and then cut it into the mold shape, the circle, and then of course the side of the tart. Press it firmly all together. And then we are going to poke around the base just so that we can release some of the air while it's baking. And then we are going to bake this for 12 minutes. At the 12 minutes mark, we are going to take it out of the oven and then remove the mold and we bake it again for another 10 minutes just so the edges and the base of our tart well cooked. Once the 10 minutes is up, just take it out of the oven and then we're gonna leave it to cool down until we're going to use it. And now is the third preparation, which we are going to be making our own ladyfingers. But this is not gonna be like the ladyfinger shape. We're gonna make it into a round circle shape. So to prepare our biscuit cuillère, as what the French said, we are going to need these ingredients. For this part is very easy as well. What we're gonna do is just to beat our white eggs until it's slightly frothy and add the sugar little by little while beating it in between until all of the sugar are finished incorporated into the white eggs. Right after that, using our spatula, we are going to mix this together with the egg yolk, gently mixing it using the folding method, and we're gonna add the flour, but preferably we're going to add the flour using a sieve so that we're not gonna have any lumps in our batter. And then we're going to preheat the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. And once our batter is ready, we're just going to transfer it onto our cake tray. Or if you have about 20 centimeter in diameter cake mold, you can use that as well, but I do not have it. So another option, if you do not have it like me, you can use a cake tray and then spread it across, make it flat, and bake this for 12 minutes. So once it's baked, of course, we're going to take it out of the oven. And if you are like me, using a cake tray, we're just going to trace for about 20 centimeter in diameter of the biscuit cuillère or the ladyfingers. And then we're just going to leave it to cool down. And now we have reached to our fourth preparation, which is the preparation of the croustillant praline cafe. So there is praline, there is coffee, and there's also some crunch from it. So we're going to need these ingredients. As for the praline, I have a video making the praline in my previous episode, which is the cupcake puree right over here. I will link it in my description box as well, so you can quickly click right there and see how I made the praline. But I will still add the ingredients of the praline, so you guys don't have to go through and write down the ingredients of it. So for the coffee, I actually have the instant coffee, so I'm using that. But according to the cookbook, you can also use the coffee bean. So For this, the preparation, you only need to bake the coffee beans for about 15 minutes in 155 degrees Celsius in the oven, and then take it out and leave it to cool down. After it's cooled down, just going to grind it until you have like a powder texture, and it's ready. Proceeding from that, we're just going to melt our chocolate, and then we are going to add together the praline together with the coffee. And then we are going to mix it until all of these are mixed well together. After that, we are just going to add our costume of fruitin. Then we are going to continue mixing it again. Our costume praline cafe is ready. So we have finally reached to our final preparation, which is the preparation of the dark chocolate ganache with whiskey cream. So that we are going to need these ingredients. The first step is to heat our whipping cream. So for this part, it's very easy. You can use either your saucepan to heat it over fire, or you can also use a microwave to heat it. In my case, I am using the microwave to heat my cream. Then after that, I'm going to add this in 3 batches into my dark chocolate, mixing it in between until all of the warm, hot whipping cream is finished. And then once this is all mixed well together, we're just going to add the butter into our whipping cream and dark chocolate mixture. Mix it well until the butter is melted along with our yummy chocolate mixture here. And then after that, we're just going to add the whiskey cream into our mixture. Mix it well. You can add more if you want to have a little more kick of the whiskey cream. And our ganache is ready. It's still quite warm, so you can leave it aside to cool down in room temperature. And finally, we have reached the assembly part. This is always my favorite part because we are going to finally see the result of making it, putting it all together. So the first thing for our assembly is just to take out our Ganache Montée Vanille-Mascarpone from the fridge, and then we are going to place it inside our mixing bowl. Beat it until we achieve a supple and a stiff peak of the cream. And once we reach at this stage, we are going to transfer it into a piping bag. I'm also using a piping tip here, number 10 nozzle. Once this is all placed in the piping bag, we are going to keep it back inside the fridge first. So we are going to take our chocolate tart, place it onto our serving dish. The first thing we need to do is to place our Costillon Praline Cafe around the base of our tart. Before we're going to put our Biscuit Cuillère onto our tart, we're just gonna drench it with some coffee first, the top and the bottom. And then place this into our tart. And last but not least, we are going to drench this with our dark chocolate ganache with the whiskey cream. Once all of this is ready, we're just going to keep our tart inside the fridge for about half an hour, just to let the dark chocolate ganache to set before we are going to pipe our Ganache Montée Vanille-Mascarpone. When it's all set, we're just going to pipe a tiny dollop of our Ganache Montée. The trick to make a perfect dollop of our ganache here is to pipe and squeeze at the bottom and release it before lifting it. And do that until the whole tart is full with our Ganache Montée. And to finish this, we are just going to decorate it using our cacao powder, sprinkle it around the tart, and we are done. Oh my god, this looks almost exactly like in the cookbook itself. It looks so tasty, it looks so yummy, it's so interesting to see. Although I can say it's not really like of course it's not like the traditional tiramisu, but this is like a level up of tiramisu, and I just can't wait to taste it. So let's just try and cut this tiramisu tart. Tasted beautiful together. You can still feel the originality of the tiramisu because of the Biscuit Cuillère. There's the cafe as well as the mascarpone, vanilla. Although I would think that I would prefer that I should have put more Baileys because I like the Baileys flavor stronger than the measurement. So don't be shy. If you really want to have a kick in your tiramisu tart, add more Baileys. I love the pâte sucrée cacao. This is the first time I'm having a pâte sucrée cacao. Usually it's the vanilla flavor. So for this, it's not too sweet because the cacao plays well to reduce down the sugar, the sweetness of the pâte sucrée, and giving the bitter taste, as well as the dark chocolate ganache with the whiskey cream. This flavor is very suitable for adult gathering if you know what I mean, or even to just treat yourself when you had a long day and you just want some kick in your mouth, and a mild kick of alcohol is the perfect way to enjoy and savor a dessert together with alcohol. I would really recommend for everyone to try this recipe because it's an elevation of tiramisu, especially if you love tiramisu and alcohol together. And before I forget, let me just bring you guys to the ingredients recap so you can have a look and take a screenshot, pause the video if you would like to get all of the ingredients and recipe and make this at your own home. And so that we have reached to the end of this episode. Thank you so much everyone for keeping up with the baking challenge and also watching this video, liking this video. I truly appreciate it. The next episode is not gonna be a 2024 baking challenge. It's going to be I am going to be making and sharing with you guys my own recipe for my birthday cake. It's coming for my birthday and I was very excited when I got this idea, and I'm very sure it's gonna taste so good, and I wish for everyone to try this. So I'm sharing the recipe of my birthday cake this year for everyone to try in your own home. So I catch up with you guys again on my next episode, and if you're still watching, on to the next episode.